My brothers, my sisters. What will a person not do for money? This is the story of a young woman who wanted to be rich, but ended up losing her mind. No one ever knew her name, not really. People just called her that hairdresser woman. You'd see her every morning, opening her small shop like someone praying for a miracle. She would sweep the tiled floor, spray her combs with disinfectant, wipe her mirror 3 times, then sit on the plastic chair, and wait, and wait, and wait. 1 day, 2 days, 1 week, 2 weeks would pass, and not a single soul would enter. She had moved 3 times already, from a quiet back street in Mushin to a bubbling corner in Ikeja, to a plaza near a popular supermarket. Yet still, nothing, no clients, no money, no answers. She was tired. Her name was Mfon, and her dreams were big, but life had mocked her. The rent was due, products were expiring. Her mother was tired of asking when things would change. That evening, Mfon was walking home, shoulders sagging, face dull like washed out okra. The streets were alive, buses honking, sellers shouting, music blaring from loudspeakers. But inside her, it was silence. Then she saw it, a paper, old, slightly torn, glued to a broken wall next to an abandoned kiosk. Call this number, I will make you rich. All your dreams will come true. That was all it said. No address, no name, just a phone number. Phone scoffed. Scammer, she muttered, but something inside her paused. Her legs stopped, her eyes fixed. She stared at the paper like it had called her by name. She tore it off the wall and slipped it into her bag. She didn't call that night. She sat in her single room, staring at the ceiling fan as it rotated slowly, making that annoying ka sound. The number was on her table, beside a half-finished bowl of noodles. By 3 a.m., she hadn't slept. By 7 a.m., she picked up her phone. She called. A man answered. His voice was deep, calm. He didn't say, hello, or who is this? He said, I've been expecting you. Mfon didn't know what to say. She just held the phone to her ear, heart beating fast. Hello, she finally whispered. You're tired, the man said. You've tried everything, and nothing is working. You want customers, you want money, you want peace. Mfon's mouth opened slightly. How did he know? I can help you, he said. But once we begin, there's no turning back. She swallowed hard. What do I have to do? The line was quiet for a moment. Then the man said, come and see me. The meeting place was strange, an empty, quiet compound behind an old mosque, tall grass everywhere, a small room with a red curtain for a door. The walls were black, no light, except a tiny candle burning in the corner. He sat on the floor. He looked ordinary, an older man with grey beard, calm face, and dark eyes that never blinked too much. He didn't ask for her name, he just told her what to do. Every time you make someone's hair, take a strand, a small piece, burn it, that's all. The smoke will bring more customers to you. Mfon frowned. Is that all? That's all. He didn't tell her anything else. He just gave her a small clay pot. Burn it in this. He said she would see changes within 3 days. He asked for no money. Just that, when the blessings start coming, she would pay him a salary every month. Mfon agreed. Why wouldn't she? It was just her. Mfon got home, full of joy. Wow, that was too easy. I thought he was going to ask me to do something terrible, she said, swinging her legs as she sat on her bed. The next morning, Mfon woke up early, filled with excitement. She couldn't wait to witness the miracle waiting for her at the shop. She grabbed her bag and hurried to the bus stop, eager to get to her salon. The first client came in, a soft-spoken lady who said, I don't know why I entered this place. I was walking past, and I just turned. Mfon smiled wide, her hands almost shaking. She braided the woman's hair with all her strength. When she finished, she gently picked a fallen strand of hair from the floor, went inside a small corner in her salon and placed it in the clay pot, and burned it. The smoke rose, sweet and strange, and just like that, 3 more women walked in. By the end of the week, Mfon had done 12 heads, 12 strands, 12 burns. Her life changed fast. The small shop became crowded. She hired 2 girls to help her. She moved to a bigger space, this time in Lekki. She started wearing wigs that cost more than someone's rent. She flew to Dubai, clubbed in Ghana, shopped in Paris. Every month, she sent money to the man. She didn't even need to speak to him, just transfer. No questions asked. She was finally living her dream. But no one told her what was happening to the clients she burned hair from. At first, Mfon didn't notice anything strange. Why would she? The money was flowing. Her bank alerts were music to her ears. Customers were still coming, more than ever. Some even cried after she finished their hair. "You have magic hands," they'd say. But soon, small things started happening. The first girl, Aisha, who had done braids weeks ago, came back, not to make hair, but to ask for help. "My business is falling," she said. "I'm tired. Since the day I made my hair here, everything is going wrong. Customers just stopped coming." Mfon blinked. Her smile faded. "Oh, sorry, oh," she said. But Aisha was not the only one. Another client said her fiancé had broken up just days after leaving the salon. Another one said she had lost her job. Another said she had a strange sickness, headaches that came and went like spirits dancing in her scalp. All these people had one thing in common. They all came to bless Finger's beauty touch, and their hair had been burned. Mfon tried to ignore it. She told herself it was a coincidence. Bad luck. Life happens. She continued burning every client, every strand. Sometimes, she didn't even wait for it to fall. She would pluck one piece, just to be sure. The smell of burning hair filled the shop daily, but customers didn't notice. They just kept coming. One day, her mother visited, an old woman, humble and wise, with tired eyes. She sat with her daughter in the living room of Mfon's new 3-bedroom apartment. The TV was loud. Designer bags were piled on the couch. Perfumes filled the air, but her mother was quiet. After a while, she said, "My daughter, all this money, all these clothes, where is your land? Where is your investment? Where is your peace?" Mfon rolled her eyes. "Mama, please, not today." But her mother's voice was firm. "You are spending and spending, but nothing to show. You are moving fast, but I fear you don't know where you're going." That night, Mfon stared at her wardrobe full of shoes and bags. She had everything, but suddenly, she felt empty. And then, 2 weeks later, she fell sick. It began with a stomach pain, small at first, then sharper, deeper, constant. She went to the hospital. They ran tests. "Nothing is wrong with you," the doctor said, but the pain was real. It moved. Sometimes her chest, sometimes her back, sometimes her head would feel like it was floating. And the dreams started. Dark dreams, hands pulling her, faces she couldn't recognize, screams inside fire. She couldn't sleep, she couldn't eat, she couldn't laugh. So, she called the man. The phone rang once, twice, then, he answered. "You're sick," he said before she could speak. Mfon's voice was shaking. "You said this would make my life better. Why am I suffering?" There was a long pause. Then he said, "You're ready for the next level." She frowned. "Next level? You want the pain to stop?" "Yes." "Then bring me something greater." She met him that night. Same place, same red curtain, same candle in the corner, now burning lower than ever. The man didn't look at her. He just said, "From now on, after sleeping with a man, collect his sperm. Bring it to me. Use a cloth, or a nylon. I don't care. Just bring it fresh." Mfon's heart froze. She wanted to speak, to argue, to run, but the pain inside her was louder than her thoughts. She agreed. 2 weeks later, the first man died. He had met her at a club. Tall, dark, bearded. He had paid for drinks and laughed all night. They went home together. She did exactly as the man instructed, took the sperm, sealed it, and delivered it. That same man began coughing blood 10 days later. Doctors were confused. He died on a hospital bed, mumbling her name with tears in his eyes. Mfon heard the news, but she didn't cry. She told herself, "It's not my fault." She kept going. She picked men carefully, wealthy ones, influential ones. She took what she needed and dropped them off like trash. Each one died mysteriously. She went from being known as the best hairdresser in town, to a woman no man lived long after knowing. But no one suspected. They only whispered. 1 year passed. Her skin was glowing. Her hair was full. She was featured in a beauty magazine. She was called the miracle stylist. But deep down, something inside her was breaking. One evening, as she closed her salon for the day, she stepped out with a smile. Then, out of nowhere, a sharp pain struck her, and her joy vanished. The pain came back, this time worse. Her face started changing. She rushed home and quickly took some simple medication, thinking it was just ordinary pain that would pass. She didn't give it much thought, brushing it off as nothing serious. But one day, as she stood in front of the mirror, she caught a glimpse of herself and froze. Her eyes stared back at her, dark, hollow, and almost unrecognizable. It was like she was looking at a stranger. A chill ran through her as she realized something wasn't right. She screamed. She rushed to the man. He was waiting. This time, there was no candle, just darkness. He sat on the ground, legs crossed, face hidden in shadow. She fell to her knees. "I want out," she said. "I'm done." She was crying. Her voice was weak. Her body felt like fire. He didn't move. "If you leave," he said, "everything you've gained will vanish. You will lose your mind, slowly, and then you will die." She stared at him. "Then let me die." The man didn't blink. He just nodded slowly. "So be it." He stood up, walked to a corner, and whispered words Mfon could not understand. The air in the room shifted. The shadows on the wall danced, and just like that, it was over. He told her she could go. She walked home like someone floating. Something in her chest felt light and heavy at the same time. The next morning, she went to her shop. The gate was locked. A woman was standing outside, her landlady. "I want my shop," the woman said. Mfon blinked. "Excuse me." I said, "I want my shop. I need it for something else." Mfon laughed. "But my rent hasn't expired." The landlady didn't smile. "I don't care. Leave." Mfon refused. She called a lawyer. She took the woman to court. She had money. She had connections, but still, she lost. Somehow, she lost. The judge said something about documents missing. Her file had no record of her payment. Her receipt vanished. Her proof disappeared. Even her lawyer started acting strange. She packed her things in shame. The girls who worked with her stopped picking her calls. She tried calling old customers. None responded. One had traveled. One was too busy. One had blocked her. She returned home that evening to find her generator missing. Her neighbor swore it was never there. That night, she couldn't sleep. Not because of pain, but because of the voices, in the walls, in her wardrobe, in the mirror, whispers, laughing, crying, calling her name. She tried to cover her ears, but the sounds were coming from inside her head. She went outside and started shouting, tearing her wig, screaming names no one knew. Neighbors watched from windows. One woman whispered, "Is that not Mfon, the hairdresser?" Another said, "She's gone mad." In the days that followed, she walked barefoot, talking to herself, carrying invisible combs, plaiting imaginary hair in the air, laughed at the sky, cried to the ground. Her mother tried to take her in, but she ran away. They say she now sleeps behind her old shop, still waiting for customers. She is still holding her comb, still whispering. They say the devil gives with one hand, and collects with 100. They say Mfon was one. They say money without peace is the worst curse of all. Be content, be careful, be wise. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more thrilling African folktales. And let me know in the comment, what do you think about this story? See you in the next one.